Hello guys, welcome to another Maya tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be texturing our stylized character. But we're not going to be doing this directly in zip in Maya. So we're going to be sending this character to Mudbox to paint. Then after that, we'll come back and apply the textures on him. So there are two ways to do this. You can either export this character and his objects as an FBX file. By doing this, file, export all, click the checkbox, then you can click export. You can select FBX here. You should have FBX. You can have DAE FBX, but this is the right one to use. If you are using Collada, this one is for Collada, so we're gonna use this one. Then we export the file. Then you select where you want to export it to. As usual, you give it a name. Let me stylized. Call it stylized. Then you select where you want to put it. So mine is in project defaults saying, so I just click export all. With that done, but the other way I wanted to show you, which is a faster way, is if you have Autodesk Maya 2014 and if you have Mudbox 2014, there is a new feature whereby you can just click file, send to Mudbox. So if I click this, send it to Mudbox as a new scene, what it asks me is do you want to send the entire scene, because nothing is selected. So I'll just say no and I'll select what I want. But in this case, there is I need to make some adjustments to this character. Okay, for instance, the shoe is an instance of this one. So what I'll do is I'm going to merge these two together to make them one object. I'm going to be using symmetry in Mudbox anyway, so I'll select these two and I'll go right to, I'll click that, so I'll merge it together, then I'll name it shoe. I'll select the socks, I'll just select the other one, then I'll do the same thing. So that's also merged. Then I'll scroll up and work on the eyes as well. The eyes, I didn't really focus on the modeling of the eyes, so what we'll just do is we'll just leave the eyes for now, because this is not a modeling tutorial. So we'll just leave the eyes for now. We can paint on it and edit it later. So right now what I'll do is I'll just select everything. I'll select everything, then I'll go file, send to Mudbox as new scene. So with that selected, it will launch Mudbox. If it's not open, then you can now, okay, I have a scene there, so I'll just say don't save, then so bring my character into Mudbox, and it usually brings up error messages with your mesh. If you have error in your mesh, like triangles, like now it's telling me I have high valence vertex in my sphere, which is the highs. So I'll just say keep this mesh, or I'll click keep all. So all the meshes have been sent to Maya directly. So now I can even, any change I make here, I can update it directly in Mudbox. But for the purpose of those who don't have Mudbox 2014 and Maya 2014, so just keep this very, very straightforward. So it's just the same way you will import your FBX file. I can just go to import and look for this the Stylized and click import. Same way. So I'll just cancel that and let's start painting. So what I'll do now is I'll just quickly show you some tips on how to paint in Mudbox. In Mudbox, you need to select each objects that you bring in and assign a material to them. So I'll select the body, I'll right click and hold and click assign new material, Mudbox material, so that it just assigns a new material to it. So I'll change the color, because I'll be painting a black guy, so whoever you want to paint, you can just select the color you prefer. So the shirt, I'll right click on it, assign a material. I'm going to be painting this white, so make it white. And for the shorts, just right click and I'll make this red. Okay, something like this. Yeah, darker. Yeah. So, and for the socks, I'm gonna go for the socks. I need to reduce my brush. And by the way, in Mudbox, you can adjust the size of your brush by holding B button, B on your keyboard, and left click and drag. So you just drag down and up to change the size of your brush. Okay. So I'll just right click on the socks, assign a material, then I'll assign a white material to it. Okay, no, I want to make it gray. Yeah, make it such. Yeah. Then the shoe, I'm gonna make this Mudbox. That's the same color we used for the shorts. Yeah. Okay, so with this done, we're gonna have to, when you go to your layers, you can see that we don't have any material, any texture on this object. So what I'll do is when I click on any of it, it asks me to create a material for it, a texture for it. So I'll just name this skin. So I'll do that for this shirt as well. I'll name this shirt. All you have to do is just click on it, then that pops up. I'll do that for the shorts. Name this short. So I'll just go down and do the same for the socks and the socks and the shoe. Sorry. This can really get confusing if you're not careful when you want to paint in Mudbox. When you just import your object, you can start having issues like whatever you paint on this one start affecting this one, because you have whatever layer you have here just pops up here, but it shouldn't be that way. Like now if I click on this, you can see I have skin, but if I click on this I have shirt. But if you're not careful, you can just have the same anything you have on this layer just shows up on this layer. That's because you didn't create a material for it when you just imported it. So always take note of that. So now I'm gonna move forward by just adding some little paintings to the character. Just paint him a little bit, then I'll send him back to Maya. Then we apply some shaders. Okay, so to really paint on this character, I'm going to need to subdivide him, then delete the subdivision later. So I'll select the skin and press Shift D. If you are familiar with Mudbox, you'll know that. So I'll reduce my brush size and I'll quickly paint the lips. Okay, so, but what I want to do is for the top of the lip, I just want to use Mudbox is actually very similar to Photoshop. Sorry, it has all the tools we have in Photoshop, but it's just in a 3D format now. Okay, so I'll click the bone and switch on symmetry. I'll set it to hex, and I'll just bone that part of the lips. Okay, so we have an issue now. We need to create a UV map for this character. You can see what the UV looks like. It's messed up, so you can ignore this for now. It's just the subdivision that is okay. So what I'll do is I'll click on UVs and maps, and let me just UVs and map will create UV. UVs and map creates UV. Okay, I need to go back to, I need to step it down to the lowest subdivision, sorry. need to step it down to the lowest subdivision. So I hold function and I just click page down, or the down key, the down arrow key. So I just click create UV, replace the existing UV one. So when that is done, it changes this whole thing. Why is it taking so long? Okay, we'll go back. UVs, create UVs, replace the existing UV. Okay. That's taking a while. Okay, so I'll go back to the shirt. I'll do the same for the shirt. I'll create UV, replace the existing UV. The number of tiles, set it to 1. Just so this one has been created successfully. So we have the UV here. Mudbox UV usually looks like this. It's really messed up. I don't know why. Okay, so but this one, we need to go back and do the same for it. Create UV, replace the existing UV. Narrow corner and generate temperature using UV. Okay, I need to read that again. So I'll go to my help, my window, then I'll click on log. So I need to read what it destructing mesh. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just first of all delete the highest subdivision on this mesh, then I'll go back and create my UV. So the UV has been created successfully. You can see what it looks like. It's really messed up. So I'll go down and do the same for the shots. Create UV. So it works very fast. So it's for the socks. You can also create your UVs in Maya. I can just show you how to do that in Maya as well. And show you how to do that in Maya. So in Maya, what you can just do is when you select your character, you go to UVs, create UVs. You can, but I like to use the automatic mapping, so I just click the checkbox, set the planes to 6, few apcs, insert projection before deformers. So with this, what I'll just do is I'll just click apply. Then that's done. By the time I go back to my character and go to UV and UV set editor, sorry, where is my UV? Okay, UV texture editor. Just select that guy again. So I select my character. You can see it just created the UV map for me. You can see what it looks like. So you can also create your UVs directly in Maya. So that's just a quick tip on. It's very easy. But with this kind of UV, you need to stitch most of them together depending on how you want to arrange it. Oh, we're not dealing with Maya for now, so going back to Mudbox. So by creating those UVs, it makes it very easy for us to paint on this character. So this guy, I need to first of all change the skin color. Looking too awkward right now. So I'll just use something like this, yeah. Then I'll scroll down instead of painting on him. Increase my brush size. Instead of painting on him like this, which will take forever, I'll just scroll down, and since whenever you want to paint, use the same color all over the layer. Just use flood paint layer. What this does is just pause the whole floods your mesh with the paint. So I'll scroll in and let's create another layer. I will name this skin 2. So we'll use this for the fingers and some parts of the face that we need to paint to add a little bit of detail. So I used to, then I'll scroll down. I'll just use press B, hold down B and my left click to change my brush size. Then I'll burn this part of the lip like I wanted to do before I created the UVs. So by burning it, I'm making it darker, but I need to subdivide this again so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so now that I've clicked burn, I forgot to change this to shadows. I need to use the shadow tone. Increase the strength. To increase the strength, you hold M on your keyboard, then you left click, drag. You can see you can do that here as well. So I press W to switch off wireframe. And use midtones just to get a different result. Strength here. Okay, now I'll go back to my brush and just paint directly on it. So I want this color to be darker, so I'll just pick this dark color, dark brown. Okay. Another quick way to paint is by holding spacebar and clicking this icon here. You can switch on steady stroke. What steady stroke does is you can actually paint like this with this guide, so it makes your painting more precise. So for places like the lip, you can just use the steady stroke to work. Okay, so I'll change out this part needs to be a little bit darker as well, so the lower part of the lip, yeah, like this. Okay, so this part needs to be okay, so just sorry. Okay, so I need to switch off steady stroke right now. I don't need it anymore, so I'll just keep painting, but I think that's too, so I can just switch this down, dial this down a little bit. Yeah, so now what I'll do is I'll use my blur brush and just blur it out, so there's a good transition between both colors. I'm not trying to paint a very realistic character here, but just trying to make it look reasonable as reasonable as possible. Okay, so with that done, I'll go back to my bone, and these top parts I'll just emphasize more on it to make it darker. Yeah, so the more I paint on it, it just makes it darker. That top part of your lip. Okay, so another thing I need to do is I need to make these parts darker, the parts of the eyes. Okay, because we don't have a paint there now, so what I'll do is I'll paint something on it and I'll use the bond brush again. No, I won't use this. Let me use the brown, a dark brown. Yeah, this. Okay, So with that done, then I'll go back to my bone, my blur rather. I'll just use my blur brush to blur it out. So I'm trying to increase my blur radius so it works on the strength of the blur rather. Okay, so now it looks too okay. What I'll do is I'll use my erase tool, my paint erase. I'll just increase it a little bit more. Then I'll bring down the strength very low. Then I'll just erase. The strength is too low. Yeah, so now the dark part, so I've been able to reduce it. What I painted there was too dark before, so I can go back to my blur brush now and just blur it out. So now we've been able to kill that sharp transition we had before. Okay. 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 So I'll go back and just paint the hair, just add some dark areas to it. So I need to reduce the strength, just looking too dark. Okay, just so with that done, I'll just move to the fingers. And so for the fingers, I'm going to use a very light color like this. So just be very careful so you don't spill it. I think I need to make it lighter. It's too dark. A bit of yeah. So I'll put my cursor on it and press F to focus on. That's a one of the great features in Mudbox. So just paint this place. Okay, so yeah. So with that done, and you can see everything we've been doing, because we have symmetry on, it's working on this side as well. So that's one of the great advantages of symmetry. So this is the shirt. We said it's going to be white, but I want to use this opportunity to teach you how to use stencils. What stencils does is you can actually take a picture and print it on your model or your mesh. Let me put it that way. So what I'll do is, for a stencils to work, you need to switch on your projection brush. You can see if you put your cursor on it, it brings out a tooltip, then you can read more about it. So what I'll do is I'll select this projection brush, and I have this logo, this icon I want to imprint on the shirt. This icon from my latest game, Approach. I just launched it on the 31st of May. So I'll click this icon. Okay, first of all, let me teach you how to import stencils into Mudbox. Okay, let me select another thing. Let me just click on this one and delete it. So I'll import. Okay, I'll select something else. You can use a picture, you can use other textures as well. So for now, I'll just click on this, add stencil. Then I'll scroll down, just look for the icon again. So this is it. So I'll select this. Now you can see it looks way too big for this guy. So to fit it in, you can see there is a tooltip right here on the side of the screen, which is to hide and unhide the stencil. You need to press Q. So when I press Q, it hides it. I switch it back on. So to move the stencil, all you need to do is S, hold S, and with your middle mouse button you can move it around. So to rotate it, hold S with your left mouse button, you just rotate it. Then to scale it, with your right mouse, hold S, and use drag in and out your right mouse button. So I can just, then I'll use the middle mouse button to position it. Now also, if you scroll down here, you can adjust the visibility of your stencil. So if you don't want to see the stencil at all, but you want to see what you're doing, maybe when you paint, when you use the projection brush to project, it actually projects sorry, but it doesn't show the stencil. So I like to see my stencil. Then I'll use the Q to unhide and hide if I want to. So you can have the multiplier here, it's already set to 1, then the offset. But one advice I would give is, when using a stencil, when you click your projection brush, always make sure it's not on symmetry, especially if it's one piece object like this. But if you are painting skin, it works, but for a logo it won't work, because if you can see, let me show you what it does. It's actually giving us some distortion now because it's painting on both axes, and that's the problem we're having. So to fix that, I'll just switch off symmetry, then I'll paint my stencil on the shirt. Okay, so I press Q sorry, then you can see we have our stencil on the character, but because of the first attempt with it, we have a problem here. So I'll switch on my stencil again. I'll hold S and just scale it up a little bit, move it, then I'll just apply my okay. So you can see how quick we're able to do that. So with that done, we can move to the next thing, which is for the shots we don't need to do anything, just leave it that way. But the shoe, we need to paint this sole black, because the top can be red but the sole needs to be black. So we go back to, we click on the shoe, so we add a new layer. Even I forgot, for this stencil I was supposed to create a new layer for the shirt, but you already know how to create a new layer, so you can always fix that. So I could just erase it, but there's no need for that. You can always do that by yourself. It's not a problem at all. So I'll just create a new layer and name this shoe sole. Shoe sole. Okay, so just bring this down. Then I want this to be black, so I'll switch back to my paintbrush. Just scroll to the black and just paint. Okay, but one more thing, symmetry is off, so switch it back on x-axis. Then so whatever I do here just updates on your x-axis. You don't have to do that twice. So I need to scroll and bring this down a little bit so we don't have unnecessary issues painting on this guy. So I can switch on my steady stroke now. I'll definitely need it to increase my brush size a little bit. Because I need my steady stroke here, I'll just keep using it for now. I can still bring this up a little bit, yeah. Okay, so just paint this side as well. So for this place I can quickly switch off my steady stroke so I can paint fast with the paintbrush without the stroke. So how fast I can paint. So I need to bring it down because it's getting narrow. You can always clean this up. Just zoom in and increase your erase strength. That was too much. So for the cleanups, you can always do that. So I'll just quickly paint this up. I'll pause the video and paint. Okay, so I've been able to paint the sole of the shoe. So now one last thing before we end this tutorial is paint the palm. So I'll go back to the palm of his hand. So I'll go back to the skin. I'll just click on it. Then on this same layer we just change the paint color to something lighter or something like this. Because of the blood we have there, so we have blood and it's usually very light. Yeah, this is not bad. I won't pause the video while painting this on because there are certain things I need to show you. Just quickly set this up. I need to stop here. Okay. And also you can do all this painting with your, so press F. We can do this with your Wacom tablets. I need to switch off. There is this camera I brought in from Maya, so I need to use this proper perspective. Yeah, this one is way better. Okay, I think I know what to do. Go back to look through this, then properties, and reset. Okay, so just hated that distortion, it's annoying. Okay, so paint this guy. Just paint it and stop at this side, just work my way through. Yeah, like this. Then so it's just you have a reference, like your hand as a reference. You can just look at it and paint, like paint the necessary areas you need to paint. It's not much of a big deal here. Sorry. Just paint it to this, to the palm, to the so which is the finger, underneath the finger, right there. Yeah, like this. So I'll just get this down to that place, and so now that I've painted everything, what I wanted to show you is show you how to use the blur. You can just blur it out so it looks natural. This looks okay, even if it's stylized character, it's still it still has that feel to it, that we know what you're doing. So always move between your blur and your paintbrush and just sort stuff out. So I need to reduce this block brush a little bit, walking too fast. So that's all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll take it back to Maya and I'll show you how to apply it to the character, and from there we'll look into some shaders like this subsurface scattering shader in Maya, so to give the skin a cool feel. So, and that will be all for this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and you can share the video to your friends as well. So yeah, I can take care. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.